Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.
All right, guys, welcome in. It is time for another edition of the NBA Tip-Off Show, powered by WagerTalk.com. I'm Joe Ranieri, and an interesting card here, in fact, in the association. 4 games we're going to touch base on, all 4 very unique, very interesting, and also going to be very profitable. The Nets, looking at the Suns. We've got Denver taking on Boston, New Orleans, Memphis, and then, of course, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Toronto Raptors. Here to break all of it down with you. 3 of the very best, guys. When it comes to handicapping, these are 3 guys you want in that corner. Starting with the man at the top, Ski Profit in the house, and the Lakers are playing, and we're not talking about him. Oh, there he is. Teddy covers, babe. Teddy. And then, of course, the guy in the bottom. That would be Tony Clean. It's like the cleanup hitter, Tony Mejia. He is ready to rock and roll, fresh off the college basketball tip-off show. It's going to be a profitable day, guys. I promise you. Ski, talk to us, my man. How was your night? How's your week been going? What do you got going on at Wager Talk today?
Well, I had a week from hell, actually, so I don't want to talk about the week. It's a new week. I want to get to this week and make some money. But I don't have any plays or any packages up. I have 2 small plays I sent to subscribers, and I'm trying to turn it around today.
You're going to turn it around. Thoughts are things, damn it. Isn't that what they say, Teddy, right? The secret? Thoughts are damn things here, my man. How you been? And what do you got going on? I know you got something going on at Sports Memo or Wager Talk.
Yeah, I've been running pretty good in the association over the last 10 days or so. I think 71% over the last 10 days, and the long term starting to really pile up now. I'm 60% over the last 110 NBA plays, and as long as I can do that, I'll be very, very happy. Today I'm locked and loaded. 1 play in the NBA ranks, 1 play in the college ranks. I keep a fairly conservative style. I'm not someone that fires away on 4, 5, 8, 10 plays a night. 1, 2, or 3 on most days. So we got 2 today.
2 ready to go, guys. Visit them at sportsmemo.com or wagertalk.com. Get to Teddy's page, locked and loaded, ready to go. How about you, my man, Tony Mejia? How has it been, man? The association, and what do you got going tonight?
Oh, I changed my shirt just for you, Joe. Just
Love
to
it.
A little bit of variety for you and the lady. And things have been going pretty well in NBA. I'm number 1 in totals for February. Number 2 overall profits this month. Was number 1 until last night, where the Heat let me down. But yeah, things are going really well. Props, which is going to be my free play today, has been tremendous. I'm on a 9-3 run. 6 of my last 7 player props. Not something I regularly dive into. But there have been a lot of situational matchups I've liked, and that John Wall reunion in Washington went really well last night with him and Bradley Beal both going well over their total props.
New York Knicks also pulling out a win last night. All right, guys, let's dive in. By the way, WagerTalk.com. Get there now. You can get Teddy at SportsMemo.com. Take advantage of the locked and loaded plays, guys. Head over there. Let's get it rolling. Let's look at this contrarian game and play of the day. And when we take a look here, it's an interesting card, guys. 6 games on the board. 1 game kind of stuck out because nobody given the Brooklyn Nets any love, it appears like. I see an opening line of Phoenix laying 3. Wow. I'm looking at 5.5 now, total at 230.5, but there certainly doesn't seem to be, Ski, an awful lot of Brooklyn love here. A lot of folks jumping on that Phoenix bandwagon at home, back-to-back for the Nets. I don't know. Do you agree with the market move, or you think maybe we should be looking contrarian to Brooklyn here?
Well, I look at Brooklyn, and they're 3-6 when they get out-rebounded by their opponent. And in this game, I'm looking at the last 5 games. Phoenix is rebounding the ball a lot better than Brooklyn is. And at the same time, I look at Brooklyn this year, how they've been playing versus better teams. They've been doing pretty good versus the better teams and not so good versus the lesser teams. But at the same time, I look at when they're playing those better teams on the road, it's only been 2 games. They've been playing all of them at home. And Phoenix, they're a team that you want to back them at the house. So I think I lean more towards backing Phoenix. 9-2 as a home favorite, 8-1 versus 55% win teams are better. And most of these wins, like when they're playing these better teams at home, have been by at least 10 points or average of 10 points. So they've covered their last 6. I think that they can make it 7.
2-4, the Brooklyn Nets on 0 days rest so far this year, Teddy. It feels like they can score when they want, but I don't know. Are they running into buzzsaw here?
So, I mean, the Suns have certainly played well. Ski mentioned it, 6-0 straight up, 6-0 against the spread on this homestand. That said, they can win this game without covering this number, and they've gotten a lot of right teams at the right times during this span. I'm not stepping in front of the Brooklyn Nets right now. You say, which team of these two? Phoenix has made their backers a lot of money in recent weeks. The Nets, everybody knows about the Nets' defensive stats. Every wise guy's looking at the Nets as a team that they want to bet against. Oh, the defensive numbers. And yet you read the quotes. Number one, nobody played heavy minutes last night. I know it's only a 9-man rotation, but literally, I think Harden was the only guy to go more than 30 or 31, and he only went 35. So they're fresh for the second of back-to-backs here. And perhaps just as importantly, the quotes coming out of that locker room, the last couple of games, James Harden saying last night, this is what we've been waiting for. This is what we expected. What'd they hang, 27 threes last night in Sacramento? That may be a problem for Phoenix. If there's one, I do have my concerns about the Suns' defense on the perimeter. They've been a good defensive team for the season, but I like Brooklyn to hang within the number. I think it's going to be a close game.
All right. I mean, Tony, listen, it certainly does appear that they're kind of putting it together in Brooklyn, all getting on the same page. No Durant last night, and they can still drop 130, it feels like, when they want to. How are you approaching this game? You agree with the market move?
Oh, maybe the public needed to see 28 3-pointers last night. Maybe they weren't impressed with 27. It looked like the NBA record was going to fall for a little while. I mean, I think garbage time, they cooled off a little bit. Certainly, if it was more competitive, I think they could have gotten there. Everybody was just smoking. Landry Shamet, when he's on, really makes a difference for them. Obviously, no Durant. So, that could be one reason why the public is going Phoenix on this one. Suns 9-1 in their last 10. Certainly have taken care of business at home. And, if you want to step in front of the contrarian play of the day, I guess that the fact that you're going from Golden State to Sacramento to Phoenix is a drastic difference in how they're able to match up defensively. But I am not stepping in front of the contrarian play of the day. It's evil. It wins most of the time. So, look, give me Brooklyn if I'm going to take it. But I'm actually looking more towards the total on that. And I've got a player prop as my free play, which I'm really gung-ho about as my favorite thing in this game. But certainly going to watch. It's going to be a fantastic matchup.
Yeah, see, 5.5's in a lot of places, total at 230.5. So there you go, guys. Brooklyn Nets visiting Phoenix, the contrarian game. 2 of them looking at Brooklyn. 1 looking at Phoenix. You guys make the right decision. And let's take a look at one of our featured games here of the day. And, it's this Boston team is interesting to me, guys, because I just don't know which team we're going to get here against Denver. Denver seems to be a little bit beat up. The number opened up at 3, minus 145 for a total. I'm seeing 2s, heck, even a couple of 1.5 for Boston now as the money rolls into to Denver. But, I mean, I don't know, Teddy, do you agree with the move here? Do you trust Denver as beat up as they are right now?
I don't necessarily trust either one of these two teams, but of the 2 choices, I'm not comfortable laying points with the Celtics. The quotes coming out of Boston are wrong. When you have the point guard, we're lacking effort. Who's he talking to right there? Okay, who he's talking to the superstars. I think that concerns me. I wouldn't be surprised at all if there's a chemistry rift in that locker room. It's a Celtics team. Think about it. Last 3 years, Boston off a loss has been money. They've been really good. There have been certain teams, Milwaukee, Boston, the Lakers, that you bet them off a loss and you just make money. This year, not so much. 500 off a loss, essentially. And when you talk, again, it's not like Daniel Tice is an impact player. But with what do they have in the low post right now? They have nothing. This is a team that is allowing opponents to get easier looks than we're used to seeing from the Celtics. And it's a Nuggets team that's certainly capable of getting good looks by the rim. I don't love the spot for Denver coming off that big win against the Lakers. But if I'm playing, it ain't going to be the Boston side. It'd be Nuggets or pass for me.
Tony, they're just not in good form, to Teddy's point there. It's hard to lay points with them. The market is not, but do you trust Denver in this spot going on the road after winning 3 at home?
I don't know, because I rarely trust Denver. You never know what you're going to get with them. But if you ask me about Boston's ball movement, I can give you a Jaylen Brown impression. Ooh. And, 'cause that's what he was asked the other day after their horrible loss in Washington. What do you make of the ball movement? No comment. So clearly there is a rift going on between either him and Tatum or him and Kemba Walker. And Kemba's really struggled to get going. I could see why Kemba Walker would want to get himself going, considering that he missed the early part of the season. And it's very important for him to beat Kemba Walker for the Celtics to take that to another level. But if it comes up against the team chemistry, that's going to be an issue. But we're over a year removed from Kyrie Irving being on the team and being labeled that scapegoat. Can't go to that ball again. Jeff Teague has been really disappointing. He was supposed to be a conduit coming over. Peyton Pritchard has passed him in the playing rotation. I am worried about how they're going to match up against Nikola Jokic. Certainly they can send double teams at him. Certainly they can play Taco Fall spot minutes just to give him a different look. But Jokic is in a really nice rhythm. Michael Porter Jr. is going to be the X factor here. And certainly Jamal Murray looks a little better than he did last week. I would imagine that they still have guard issues with Gary Harris probably missing another game. So probably a no touch for me. But I'm with Teddy. I'm not trusting the Celtics if you're asking me to trust either one of these teams, and certainly not laying points with them.
All right, so we got a little breaking news here on the NBA tip-off show. Should let you know that Kyrie Irving is out tonight. He has been pushed out as the line. I'm watching it continue to rise here now across the. I'm seeing 6.5 as it continues to fly. Kyrie Irving out, so we may have to rethink that contrarian play one more time. But let's stick with Boston here. Ski, talk to me. Oh no, what do you got? Is it not? I'm
Kyrie? Just saying. I'm not going to rethink the contrarian play because Kyrie's out. The reason these contrarian plays are winning is because the betting markets are overreacting to players being out.
Ooh, I love it. There's no rush. Love it. Absolutely love it. All right, screw you, Kyrie. The earth ain't flat anyway. So come here, Ski. Talk to me, man. What this Boston team? We've seen this Boston team lose interest to the lower teams in the NBA. They usually tend to get up for some better competition. Do you trust them to get up for Denver at home here after those 2 losses to Washington and Detroit?
I was looking at Teddy trying to get that action in on the contrarian play. Look at him.
Did you see him hammering it?
But I don't know that I can trust Boston. They're 1-4 against the spread their last 5. They've only won 3 of their last 10 games. They're 3-5 versus 55% win teams are better. They do play good at the house, but that's about all I see that's good going for them in this game. They don't have Marcus Smart, which for me means Jamal Murray is going to have a good day. They don't have Tice. They don't really have anybody down low, which makes me think Jokic is going to have a great game because he's damn near averaging a triple-double. So I would have to trust Denver here. I agree with where the line is going back down, and I think maybe the wrong team is favored. I think Jokic will eat in this matchup, and I trust Denver more. So that's the way I'll go.
All right, trusting Denver more at home, on the road in Boston, rather, in that game. So that, I believe, is a 7:30 tip-off, if I'm not mistaken there. I believe so, yes. All right, so that leaves us one other featured game we're going to talk about here. 7:05, it's the earlier. Okay, so it's 7:05. The 8 p.m. tip-off here, this should be interesting. How about the Memphis Grizzlies taking on the Pelicans? Now, this one has gone back and forth from a market perspective. I've seen both teams here. It's been a pick-em. It's been Memphis -1. It keeps going back 0.5 point for the Pelicans at some point today. I mean, Tony, 229 is a total. Is it really just a toss-up in your mind at this point, or is there an edge you think to be had with these two teams?
I mean, the way the division has been, it's all been a toss-up. Dallas was expected to win it. They're near the bottom. San Antonio is running away with things right now. The Pelicans were my pick, kind of disappointing. Memphis has been hanging around despite all their injuries. They're still waiting for Jaren Jackson Jr. to come down. And both of these teams are 5-5 in their last 10, which is par for the course in how the Southwest Division has been broken down. But I think we were waiting on Alonzo Ball trade. He still might be. But Stan Van Gundy's trying to figure out all those pieces. He's gotten Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram going, so that's a positive. Memphis has Ja Morant playing really well again after he had hit a lull. Grayson Allen, I believe, is still leading the NBA in three-point shooting, and they got Jonas Valanciunas back from his bout with COVID. So both of these teams are kind of at full strength. Steven Adams had missed some games. He came back, had a really strong game the other night. A lot of moving parts, and this is a game that both of these teams want to win. So, from that standpoint, Pace is going to have a lot to say about it. But I think we'll see both teams defend and both teams try to play through the post, which means it'll come down to whistles. If we don't get a lot of whistles, we should see a lower scoring game than expected. My lean would be towards the under and towards New Orleans.
New Orleans, one hell of a streaky team here, Ski. I don't know. Would you feel comfortable backing them in this spot against Memphis?
I don't. If you say they're streaky, I mean, we thought, or at least I thought they turned a little corner. They won a few games in a row, and then now they've lost a few games in a row. So if they're streaking bad, I don't want to get in on their side. And I usually don't want to back Memphis until they get Jaren Jackson Jr. back. Honestly, I don't like them to expect to win. I'd rather be getting points with Memphis. So I probably would look more towards the total. And I was trying to make a case for over all day, but both teams just play really slow and don't play very much defense, especially New Orleans over the last 5 games or so. So gun to my head, I mean, New Orleans is the second best offensive rated team, and Memphis is 11th. Neither team defends the perimeter well, but neither team is that great shooting. I think that we can get a couple points. So I lean towards the over. I don't like this game the most out of all of them.
You don't like that? Okay, Teddy, I mean, it's New Orleans. You're right. They look like they have the pieces in order to be really, really good, but then they put on streaks like we're seeing. Road favorites, and they're not winning games. It's just a mess in New Orleans right now.
So it's been really spotty for the Pelicans. And honestly, I thought last week that they might have turned the corner. They had the 4 straight wins. They beat some good teams. They beat the Suns. They had that impressive win in Indiana. And they beat this Grizzlies team going away, and they blew out the Rockets. And I'm like, yeah, Memphis is New Orleans has figured out what Van Gundy wants them to do. And then you watch the game at Chicago, and they're like, no, they haven't. And then you watch the game at Dallas, like, wow, no, they really haven't. And then they lose to Detroit, and you're like, no. And not only haven't they, now it's 3 straight double-digit losses against the spread. I don't want a team like that right now, okay? It's a falling knife for anyone. And maybe they straighten it out right here. But the Pelicans they haven't just been bad. They've been way wrong direction bad, particularly defensively, in each of the last 3 ball games. And that's not a team I'm going to ask to win. So Memphis, they've won 2 of their last 3. The only loss come to the Lakers. They're hungry. They're behind New Orleans in the standings. They're revenge for that recent loss at New Orleans. Just, what was it, last week, 10 days ago? Mm-hmm. Memphis are fast for me.
Pelicans 4-10 on the road this season. It has not been good here, guys. But why they got to play the game. We'll figure it out. And don't forget, we got one more game we're going to break down before we get to our best bets here. But I do want to remind you guys right now, best bets tonight, locked and loaded here from Teddy Covers, from Tony Mejia, Ski Profit, ready to go. Visit their pages right now at WagerTalk.com. You can hit Teddy up at SportsMemo.com. Go ahead. Get the plays, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day all-access passes for all 3 gentlemen there. Never miss a play, including tonight's, as we head into a loaded weekend here. All right, let's take a look at this overtime game where we just continue to see the numbers rise. I saw an opening of 233. Now I'm seeing 236s across the board, and that is Toronto and Milwaukee. I don't understand this Milwaukee team. Toronto, we talked about them last week, getting a little bit better offensively, a little more continuity. So, Ski, let me start with you here. This number keeps rising. Do you agree with it? You still think there's some room to work there?
Neither team has been very good defensively. I trust both offenses more than the defense, and both teams have been playing with more pace than not. So I would lean towards over, not one I'm running to the window with.
Going with the over there. You you trust the defenses on either of these teams, Teddy. Is it over or not for you?
No, I look under in this game before I looked over. I really would. And, one of the first things I look at with total is how does this team play against that team? All right, so you just look at the series history between these two teams, and there hasn't been a game to go over this total in the last 10 meetings. All right, under. The last 6 have all gone under the total, and shorter totals than this one, to under 215.5, under 214.5. They met last month, under 228.5. And yet here today, what are we looking at? 236? I understand that the Raptors are nowhere near where they were defensively. And the advanced metrics numbers show it really closely. Look at the Hollinger team stats. Toronto was number 5, number 4, and number 2 in adjusted defensive efficiency the last 3 years. And this year, they're not even in the top half of the league. So I understand that the Raptors defense is not what it was. Make case the Bucks offense isn't what it was either. Lean under in this one.
All right, looking under there. How about it, Tony? If you got to look at this totally, it keeps going up. You think we're going to continue to see it go up, or you think maybe there's some value on the under at this point?
No, I love the over here. The Bucks haven't lost 4 straight games since they were up 2-0 on Kawhi Leonard in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they lost 4 straight. They haven't lost 4 straight in the regular season since before Giannis Antetokounmpo won his first MVP award, when the season Jason Kidd got fired. So we're talking about a very different looking Milwaukee Bucks team, and Drew Holiday, their defensive catalyst for this season, is going to miss another game. Who's Toronto's best perimeter defender? The one guy you could probably trust to at least slow down Giannis Antetokounmpo. It is OG Anunoby. He will not play tonight. So the Raptors are going with a much more offensive lineup. Norman Powell has hit the ground running in that capacity, but they're obviously struggling. Without Holiday, the Bucks are going to struggle against Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry. Both of these teams need this game. They're both floundering on losing streaks. So I'm looking towards game extension here. I'm expecting both teams to find a rhythm offensively because, frankly, neither has the capacity to defend as well as they want to. So pace should probably be there. I'm looking for this to reach 240, and I would hop in if you can find a 235. Go for it. It's going up for a reason. It's higher than it was last month for a reason. Give me the over big time.
All right. Loves the over in that one, Toronto, Milwaukee. Love it. Great information there across the board. So now it's time to figure out the buzzer beater, the best bets from each of these gentlemen. You guys now at work, 60 seconds on the clock. Do with it what you want. As long as you drop us a best bet one way or the other, we're good. Just go ahead and don't flounder and drop the ball and turn it on. Please don't turn it over. Ski, you got it, my man. We're starting with you, buddy. I know you got this, man. Come on. At the top of the key, 60 seconds, brother. What you got? Talk to us.
Well, I kind of already talked about my game. I'm going to go back to Denver and Boston. And, I mean, I'm a big believer in how teams are playing lately. And Boston just hasn't been playing good lately. They lost to Detroit. They lost to Washington. I already mentioned they won 3 of their last 10 games. If you can't stop Jamal Murray, I don't see who's going to stop him. I don't see who's going to stop Jokic. I don't see how you beat Denver. And I look at Boston. They've only covered one of those last 5 games. Denver's been a lot better offensively and defensively. So that's the way I'm going to go. I just think that they've been playing better lately than how they played earlier in the year. They haven't necessarily been covering, but they're only asked to win this game, and I think that's very doable. So I like Denver.
Larry Bird ain't walking through that door anytime soon, that's for sure there, Boston. Sorry about that. All right, let's do it. Denver it is for Ski. Talk to us, Teddy. 60 seconds on the clock. Give us your best bet, my man.
Sure. I'm going to keep this one real simple. All right. The Lakers are 12-3 to the under on the road this year. They're coming off a game in Denver where they forgot to play defense for the first half, that ended up sneaking over, that ended up getting over the total. I mean, it was dead at halftime. And the second half was relatively low scoring. But, we've seen some of the lackadaisicalness in these first quarters or first halves for Lakers. They step it up defensively after halftime. Minnesota, not a team that's playing with a whole lot of pace. And these two teams, when they meet up, have not been playing these crazy shootouts. In fact, the last time they met, T-Wolves shot 60% from the floor, didn't get to 100. I like the under with the Lakers and the T-Wolves. 12-3, LA on the road to the under, a trend worth riding.
True, nothing but net there from Teddy. Love it. All right, going the under in the Lakers-Wolves game. All right, Tony Mejia, you know how to do it. Hitting cleanup here, my man. 60 seconds on the clock. Talk to us. Where are you going tonight?
Well, we're going back to that contrarian play of the day, which, Kyrie Irving not playing really doesn't affect what I like the most in this game, and that's DeAndre Ayton to have a very nice contest going over 26.5 combined points and rebounds against a Brooklyn Nets team that is perimeter oriented, and that's important because the key to slowing down Ayton is to get him in foul trouble. I don't think they'll be playing through DeAndre Jordan in the post, and Jordan may not even play. It'll be interesting to see, considering he just came back over a personal thing over the weekend, just came back last night, if he even goes on the second night of a back-to-back. So we could see small ball with Uncle Jeff in the lineup, and that would give Ayton a huge advantage. Ayton is averaging 31 for 45 shooting over his last 5 games. He's averaging 10.6 rebounds and has only gotten over the 26.5 point mark once in this entire month, despite playing really well. Look for him to do it today. Give me Ayton over 26.5 points and rebounds.
Did you see the wrist action there, guys? Screw you, Kyrie. Who needs you? That's right. I love it. I'm watching sevens pop up all over the place now in that game, by the way. But the over it is, guys, going to be a heck of a night. 6 games total in the association. Best bet recap for you if you just happen to join us. We are going to start with Ski Profit, who I think he's made it pretty clear he likes the Denver Nuggets. Give him the damn points. He's good to go. He ain't laying nothing with that Boston team. Teddy going to go under in the Lakers Timberwolves, 223. And Tony, DeAndre Ayton, over 26.5 points plus rebounds. Expect a big night there. Not exactly screaming defense in this one here for Brooklyn. But keep in mind the game that we talked about contrarian-wise was that Brooklyn game. No Kyrie, as that number continues to creep up to 7. So it's going to be a heck of a night, guys. And do not forget the opportunity for you to go get the best bets right now at WagerTalk.com. Tony Mejia. Teddy's is locked and loaded, ready to go. Ski's got his plays he's putting together right now, guys. Don't waste no time. 7:05 is the first tip. That will be the Denver Nuggets and the Boston Celtics. Make sure you hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. Come back and join us again tomorrow. We get to do it all over again. So, Ski, love you. Appreciate the time. Teddy, always a pleasure, my man. We'll do it again. And, of course, Tony Mejia, guys. It's time to make it a profitable night in the NBA. Let's do it. Best of luck with your plays. We'll see you guys again tomorrow.
Every Thursday, SportsMemo.com goes back in time and you can daily pick packages priced at only $5. And yes, for those wondering, that includes 5% best bets, normally priced at $30. This is the real Throwback Thursday. As an added bonus, all first-time customers will be credited $25 in WagerBucks after their initial $5 purchase. So each and every Thursday, make sure to go to SportsMemo.com and get best bets from the hottest cappers for only $5.